Hey everybody, we're back with another episode of Resilient Love. Listen, when you click on this video, we want you guys to go ahead and hit the stars. We want to have some stars so you guys support us as we go forward with our Resilient Love podcast. So we are at the very end of January 31st, 2023. It's a blessing to even say that. So we wanted to come up here today, and just kind of have a little chit chat with you all. If you are tuning in, please comment below, say hello. And we just want to have a good little check-in.
Yeah, January reflection. So let's see, let me ask this. How was January the 1st compared to the 31st, which is today for you? Did you meet all your expectations? Is there some things you feel like you could do better or?
Most definitely. I think that coming into the new year, I came in with good intentions and I kept most of the goals. I kept my goals very short and sweet, as in I gave myself like 3 to 5 things I want to accomplish, and I can honestly say out of those 3 to 5 things I accomplished 3. So it was 5 total, but I accomplished 3, so I'm proud of myself for that. I think going forward, in order to really be able to achieve the list that you create, you have to put more actionable steps behind what you want to do. So I know going into next month, I am being more intentional about my time, about my energy, and about my focus. And I know sometimes, work-life balance, we say that a lot, but essentially it's about maintaining a level of, it's about maintaining. That's the way I want to say that. It's about maintaining. I think we get caught up on the work-life balance, but there are some times where you're a little bit more work heavy and you're kind of less going out or less doing other activities. So for example, like I had an upcoming work-related task. And so I had to put more focus into the work-related task over, other activities. So there are some times where it's a little bit more on this level, a little bit more on that level, but eventually it comes back down together. So I think you just got to maintain and understand where you're at and then where you desire to be.
Okay. Well, I guess for me, I hit some goals. There's some goals I'm carrying over to February, which is I'm learning to be okay with, but really practicing intentionality. If I don't write it, it doesn't happen. And if I write it, I need to hold myself accountable. And I have a habit of sometimes letting tasks that didn't get done the next day cross over. So the thing is, that's okay, but that next day, really, it should be on the top priority list so it doesn't keep building up on the next task list.
For sure.
But yeah, I think.
So what were some tools that you used that were kind of different from 2022?
Well, of course, this is the tool person, all the apps, to everything. So the tool that you showed me that works is Task.
Google Task.
And so doing the day, putting the steps and creating, what is it, making it more detailed.
Oh, doing like the subtopics?
Subtitles, yeah, subtopics, yeah. So that's been very helpful. And the only thing I would say is really utilizing the calendar more. Like you could create the task, but if you don't put stuff on the calendar, it's like, that work-life balance it can get in the way of life, creating balance.
Yeah. What is balance? I think balance is understanding that life throws you curves And in order for you to kind of stay within the flow, you got to go into the curve. Kind of like when you're driving. You know, you go into the curve, but you also got to slow down when you're going into a curve. You can't keep that same speed as when you're on a straight path. So I think balance is understanding that there are moments in life where I'm going to be able to go fast. There's moments in life where I need to go slow. And there's moments in life where I got to just kind of go with the curve, baby. Just kind of get with the flow. And I think if we all kind of understand that even in your relationships, like there's moments where you guys are going to be accelerated. There's moments where you guys are going to have to take a break. Like, let's pause this thing. And then there are moments where you guys got to just get into the curve. Like, just kind of get with the flow. Like, kind of flow with it versus kind of going against the grain, really flowing with your spouse or significant other, flowing with what life is throwing at you guys, and being able to kind of bounce back, flow with all of those phrases.
Yeah, I think along with that, for the first month, especially, I ain't gonna say it, but right now with everything that's in the media, it's tense. It's a tense way to end the month, but hopefully we'll get better into the next month.
Yeah, we'll get better. And one thing that we want to say on a lighter note, we did our check-in, so we want to check in with you guys too. So if you want to comment down below, like, how are you feeling? How will you, how do you look at your January 2023? Like, what were your highlights? Did you achieve what you just had set for this month? Let us know in the comments below. Also, if you want to support this podcast, you can definitely go ahead over to Apple Podcasts and go ahead and leave us a positive review. Leave us a 5-star review. Go over to YouTube, subscribe, engage with us. Even here on Facebook, you can actually get some stars, share some stars with us. Help this page, help this podcast to keep going. So shifting gears a little bit, I want to talk about something more so related to the media, but on the entertainment side. I don't know if you all have been keeping up with different shows, but Quentin and I, or movies, Quentin and I have been looking at Riches as a series that we've looked at, and then we recently went to the movies to see Missing. So if you guys have any movie or show recommendations, we would love for you to comment below, because we really want to expand what we watch as our entertainment. But you want to give any feedback on that? One of your shows?
One of my shows is, I already know. I like Godfather of Harlem. I like, I just like those type of movies. Kind of like a Godfather regular, but the black version.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm actually a big movie head, or like Bree, I can call out a movie right now. Bree, like, what's that?
Right. I mean, word for word. Have you guys ever been with that person who they quote every line, word, even the inflation of their voice? Like, they got the whole character down pat. And you're like, just go inside the movie, because I'm trying to enjoy it, but you right beside me giving the whole story part two. Like,
which I'm thinking about, like, really doing more, maybe doing more show reviews, and kind of like, because I think there's always good takeaways, even from what we're watching now. If you, Riches is actually on Prime, Amazon Prime. So that has...
check it out. Check out Riches.
It's been a good start. Interesting start.
For sure.
But yeah, it has a very suspenseful storyline.
And again, with the movie Missing, if you guys haven't seen it, we're not going to spoil it. We will definitely do an episode where we go more in depth into how we feel about it. What are some of the things that we notice? Because again, we do love movies and shows, and that's something we want to incorporate a little bit more into Resilient Love, more so of our lifestyle category into that. So,
but go over to the movies. It's going to be worth your money.
And go into the movies. We were actually by ourselves.
It was a little creepy.
In the movies. I was fine with it.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. I've never been in the movies. with nobody.
Hey, I enjoyed it. But it was a good movie, good show. So yeah, we just want to kind of drop that little update as well, what we've been watching.
And it's not scary, just FYI.
Yeah, missing is not scary. Let's see. So we talked about our check-in, some entertainment. What about what you've been reading?
Oh, so the book I've been reading this month, the start of January, I just finished last week, which is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Mm-hmm. And I usually, a lot of times, I'll read a book and not finish or get halfway or almost to the end. But this one I actually finished. And it is definitely worth reading. And you just have to be open-minded. Like, it's going to really test what you think you know about money, finances, and management. And you just have to be open to learning. Listening and then learning.
Yes. I actually read Rich Dad Poor Dad previously. I didn't pick it up this month. One of the books I was really focused on is, I was actually kind of in between two books, if I'm honest. I was in between Marriage Be Hard and the Maddie James book about magic. Everyday Magic, to be exact. And so for you all out there, please check out those two books, Marriage Be Hard and Everyday Magic. Quentin and I are coming up in the summer on 4 years of marriage. And, it was kind of interesting because we listened to different couples who share some of their life experiences and even their challenges that they may face. And one comment that kept circulating, and I won't share the couple that said it, but if you guys follow this couple, but a comment that was circulating around the book, Marriage Be Hard, is that marriage itself is not hard. Like, that's what a couple said. A couple actually made the statement, I don't agree with the words or the phrase, marriage be hard. And I understand that's a little bit, not exactly politically correct or proper English, but I think that the concept behind the book was to remind everybody who's in a relationship, who's dating, some of that advice you would hope to get in that pre-stage or in that early stage, and not to give away too much of the book. But I do want to highlight the fact that Kevin and Melissa really hit all of the categories, that you think about when it comes to a relationship. Like, the book hits everything so that you can understand that, communication might be hard. Having that finance conversation could be hard. Parenting, just to name a few. So, really check out that book, especially if you're dating, in a relationship, or married. Really check it out. But that's one of their questions that they asked on the podcast, like, is marriage hard? So what are your thoughts on that question? Is marriage hard?
It's as hard as you make it. I'm going to just say my first thought. I know that's not 100% yes or no, but for some people it's hard.
Okay.
Because some people are not able to, for one, you have to be selfless, and you have to be, we all have, I think most people, you don't want to come off selfish, you don't want to be, but there's a level of selfishness because you want to make your own personal accomplishments, things you desire, X, Y, Z, but you have to learn how to make sure you communicate that and make sure that that's in line and not overstepping the marriage, and that you're so anxious to be the career guy or woman that you just put the marriage on the back burner, and it is what it is. So yeah, so marriage is as hard as you make it.
Okay. I'm going to take his answer. I think that marriage can be hard. Let me put the correct, let me make a full sentence.
Yeah.
Marriage can be hard based on who the parties are that's in the marriage. Like, kind of going back to his point, it's as hard as you make it. I think there are challenges that arise in marriage, but if you want to say, is the art of, or is the act of being married hard? I don't agree with that. I don't think it's necessarily hard.
I think the only hardest thing about marriage is probably work. To be honest,
Break down the work.
Whatever you do, depending on let's just be honest. Most people do a job that takes a level of commitment, which takes a high level of energy out of you on a daily basis.
Okay.
So to find the energy when you come home to be, So I say a lot of times, and I have to be honest with myself, we both have done that. Our time, we come in dry, just like depleted. And it's like, hey, well, how you doing? You sound like you at the grocery store. But in all honesty, work can take so much out of you. And I think that's very important that you find the right career path for you that don't take so much out of you, but you can add just as much value, and it adds as much value back to you.
I think, I think the work category can have its challenge or take a toll, I think is a better word to say there. But overall, I think that relationships, whether they are marriage, whether it's dating, even work relationships, right? Not to even put the romance on it. I just feel as though there is a level of work involved, but the work does not have to be categorized as hard. It's kind of interesting that we're on this topic because as an educator, you talk to the students about their resume. You talk to them about how they present themselves to others. And one of the phrases that we commonly use is, I'm a hard worker. I'm a hard worker. And I don't know what it is about that phrase right now, but it just kind of came to my mind as we're discussing this. And it's like, I'm a hard worker. Like, why do we say that phrase? And I don't want to overanalyze, but just for the sake of conversation, why does a hard worker or the phrase hard worker interest people?
Because I think it's based, especially our generation. That's what we grew up. Work hard, get reward, be a hard worker. In anything you do, work hard. And I don't disagree with it. But I also learned a valuable lesson called work smart.
Yeah. We're gonna come back with that one, because that one it's interesting to me. If you have an opinion on that phrase, hard worker or work hard, how we say work hard, play harder.
Do you think you should work hard or work smart or a combination of both?
Okay, let us know. We this is interesting to me. I won't tarry on that, but that's very interesting thought to me. Why do we say the phrase hard worker? What does that really mean? Like I said, not to overanalyze it, but just, if the phrase marriage be hard is incorrect, you know what I'm saying? As in people don't agree with it, then why do we as a society agree with someone saying I'm a hard worker?
Because at the end of the day, it's based on opinion, perspective. I mean, I could be working hard. I could be over here busting sweat, and you still think
you're not doing too much.
I'm lazy. Or
yeah,
I'm not doing enough. So
So I guess it's a perspective statement.
It is
based on me. Like I view myself
Yeah.
as a hard work. Okay.
But I wholly agree with, if you gonna work hard, make sure you work smart. Like, don't just work for nothing.
That was just a random thought that kind of hit my mind, but okay, we're gonna jump off that.
But that's a good point.
Overall, I think that January was good. I think that we are on track, if you want to say the word track. I definitely see us doing some new things, and one of those new things is, if you stay to the end of this video, we want you to go ahead and give us a thumbs up, give us some hearts. You know, let us know that you're still here rocking with us. If you're still listening at this point, we appreciate you, because we're going to be sharing something, an exclusive. And what that is that Quinn and I are developing a workshop. So we're doing our very first workshop. We're going to be sharing it with you guys at the end of February. So we wanted to let you all know at the end of January, so that you will be ready for us next month. So Quentin, what exactly is the workshop about?
The workshop is about, honestly, embracing love and marriage with a guide. Whether it kind of fits different categories, whether you are having some bumps in the road, or whether you just want to, get some guards up just in case. Because one thing we don't talk about much in the marriage community, but as a whole, we don't really focus on preventative care. And you have to treat your marriage like your car. You go get an oil change for your car before or right at the time it's due. You have to do the same thing in marriage. So it's a guide to help you with those areas of communication, actually expounding on our ebook previously and going more into detail into some very pivotal areas in marriage that need to be addressed, and it can cause some issues unless you're equipped with the right tools.
So yeah, we want you guys to know that we started Resilient Love to be a voice for the millennial population, but we also started Resilient Love to just have these open conversations, develop this communication, right? And so that's the reason why we are doing this workshop. So you guys are hearing it first today. You're hearing it first. We are doing a workshop at the end of February 2023. We want you guys to support, stay connected. We're going to drop a link in the comments, in the show notes, for you all to get on our subscription list so that you can be the first to know when it actually releases. So if you want to be a part of that first release, if you want to be a part of the ones who know when the actual workshop is dropping, because we're doing it virtually first before we do it in person. So we want you all to stay connected to Resilient Love. Again, the link will be in the comments, the show notes, and we want you all to stay tuned, because we are going to be providing you with some of those tips and tools that you need to get over that communication barrier and some other factors that impact marriage. Because we want to see you live, and we want to see you thrive, and we want to see your marriage grow and not just survive. You know, a lot of people are surviving marriage. They are just kind of dealing with the marriage. But we want you to not deal with it, but we want you to be happy in your marriage, right? People say happily married or happily ever after. That's what we want you to say. After this workshop, we want you to say, we're going to communicate happily ever after this workshop.
And also, just as a side note, just learn how to be happy with yourself. Because before you can really, really be happy with someone else, I think you have to be happy with yourself.
Right. So we're going to be digging into that. So if you're excited about something like that, if that's something that interests you, just to have those tools to develop that conversation, to get the words, to get the phrases that you need to really open up that opportunity for you and your significant other to really share and grow together, then we want you to stay tuned, stay connected. Again, the link is going to be in the comments. It's going to be in the show notes. please get on our subscribers list so that you can be the first one to know when the workshop releases. So we're excited about that. We appreciate you for listening and tuning in to our January check-in. And guess what? We're going to continue to bring you guys more what? Resilient love. All right. Peace.